Today's topic is how great posture equals great health. If you're watching for the first time, my name is Dr. Sandy. I've been practicing chiropractic in the city of Mississauga for over 20 years. And if you've been watching my videos for some time, as always, welcome back. I appreciate you. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about posture. Posture is critical for good health. It's correlated with health. First of all, just on a surface level, when you see someone with good posture, you already assume that they're confident, that they're healthy, that they're probably full of energy. And on the opposite end, if you see someone with poor posture, we associate it with poor health, low confidence, not feeling that they're probably tired. Honestly, and we see poor posture, we actually associate it with getting older, and that's not something any of us want. So it's something that we really need to give the proper attention to. It needs to be taken care of over a lifetime because it has so much impact again on your health. And let's jump into it. So why is this, first of all, such a serious problem more today than ever before? It's because everyone is using a computer, and I think to be more accurate, even than a computer, everyone is on their phone. So all day we have people going down, looking at their phone, on a computer, looking forward. Maybe they're driving as well, but honestly, it's mostly computers and phones that we're using. And that technology, it's here to stay. So we have to learn how to adapt with it. Here's the problem though, is that when we're in front of a computer all day, when we are using our phone all day, when we're doing these things, it's actually hard on the body. So what'll happen is, because we don't have good posture, we can actually see again that it's going forward. We're going to really see that tension can build in the neck. We get tight muscles, we get tight traps over here. The shoulders are going to start to go forward. This is not a normal position for the human body. And if you're doing this for weeks and weeks and months and years, that will take a toll on the body. So now you start to have pain in the upper body. Now this pain, if it's there bad enough, can cause limited range of motion. It can cause headaches, possibly dizziness. It's just interfering with this whole area. You might get numbness and tingling. It can affect so many things. It can affect your mid back, and it can affect the low back. It can cause like numbness and tingling to even go into the legs. So it really causes a breakdown in the body. And the funny thing is, if you look at it, there's so many things we can do to help it. So I think if we have that awareness, so many people are just going to be better off. But again, huge impact on just pain in the body. Like, you can be doing a lot of things right, but if 8 hours a day you're in front of the computer, 8 hours a day using your phone, or maybe even more, it's going to have a breakdown on the body, and that needs to stop. The other thing is, I'm just talking physically. The other thing that can happen as well is that it starts to affect internal systems in the body. So what can start to happen is it can literally affect things like breathing. It can affect, obviously with breathing would be like the energy, digestion. So let me show you actually with a model over here. So we're looking at the human spine over here, and you can see from the side, let's say someone has fairly good posture. So we're looking from the side, this is their neck. The blue represents the thoracic, or like their middle spine. But with poor posture, what starts to happen is that we see the spine start to go forward like this. And I'm going to exaggerate, but some people have really poor posture. They really have that forward movement. They're looking like this. I mean, you just know, like, you can even try it right now as you're watching this video. When you sit up, it just feels different. And then when you go forward, it's putting stress and pulling on these areas. It's something we have to take care of. And as I said, is if this is going forward, we now know that if that happens with poor posture, you're going to literally affect things like your thinking, your focus, pain, headaches, neck pain, as I mentioned. And then again, how can it affect breathing? Well, if your lungs are sitting right over here and this is going forward, it's going to affect lung capacity. It's going to affect digestive function. So it affects the body on so many levels. And then, what's a big concern a lot of people have as they get older is arthritis, is that if this is not in the right position, it's more wear and tear on the joints, more arthritis developing, right? More muscles that are just tense, under constant pressure, just more wear and tear on the body. You're accelerating the aging process when you don't have good posture. So we want to be aware of that. And then just imagine, so what does a typical day look like for a typical North American? So they get in their car, they maybe drive to work, and then when they get to their workstation, they're in front of the computer, they're having aches and pains, and they kind of dismiss it. They kind of think, well, I guess that's just the way it is. It's normal. Over time, it just progresses. Maybe once in a while, they're getting shooting pain or numbness now going into the arms. They go home, again, they're on their, phone, they're on the computer doing some other work, or just, scrolling or whatever. And again, we're just seeing this constant attack on the spine, the constant attack on posture. And then, now they're starting to feel tired, and, then they're saying, maybe I should change my diet. Of course, we should all eat healthy food. They try to exercise, which is also a good thing. But fundamentally, if that posture again is negative, we're not going to maximize even the exercise we're doing. We're not going to maximize our diet because we have this negative posture. And again, I'm telling you, good posture is very much correlated with quality of life. When people have poor posture, wear and tear, they're tired, you are literally accelerating the aging process, and we do not want that for anyone. So, and the other thing I got to stress to you too, with the human body and taking care of the body, doing these natural things, it's powerful, but you have to remember with the human body, when it comes to healing, there is a window. There is a window for everyone. And what am I trying to say with that? If you have poor posture, and let's say it's been a couple of months, that's very different than someone who's had it for decades. And let's say someone who's had it for decades tries to start some natural therapies, they're trying to take care of it, they're trying to stretch, they probably won't get a full correction. They may get a minimal correction. So posture is something that also has a window that you can work with. It doesn't mean you've had poor posture for 50 years and let's just make it perfect again. It'll probably be minimal correction if maybe there's no correction, right? It's bad enough. So one thing I would say, if you're watching this and you're a parent, educate your children, let them know as they're growing to have good posture, because again, it leads to pain in the body, quality of life gets affected. So we don't want to see those kind of things. So I would say some of the easiest things we can do is, if you have a workstation, what I would say to you is that you should be stretching. I would try to do these once an hour if you can. And the first one I would recommend, and I'm going to try to make it in real time, like if I was working in a corporate environment. So what I'll do is I'm going to use my hands. I'm obviously sitting on a chair. I'm going to grab the side of the chair and I'm just going to pull like this. So I'm pulling with this hand and my neck is going this way. My right hand is anchored to the chair. I'm holding it, and then I'm just pulling this way, and I'm just opening these areas. We want to soften up those muscles from all the hard work we've been doing. Obviously, I'm going to do it on the other side as well, right? And then hold for a count of 2, 3. If you can, I like to use the number 30 as a target. That's when you really open up the system. Maybe you can do 5, maybe you can do 45. Like, listen to your body, especially if you're not used to stretching. I'd literally start with like 2-3 seconds. If anything hurts, obviously don't do it, but we're going to do these stretches and we're going to try to do it once an hour. I'm purposely setting that up, so even if you do it twice a day, that's amazing, right? So we're doing the side to side stretches. Then the other thing we should be doing as well, one of my favorites for posture, is having your hands right over here. They're going to go behind your back, and you're going to kind of pull, and I'm going to look up at the same time. So I'm going to look all the way up like this. I'm looking at the ceiling. This is probably the best one. Now, I know what's popular is a lot of people talk about like doing these chin tucks. I guess there's some benefit, but I want to see a good change. I want to feel a global change. So what I'm going to do, again, hands in the back, and we're going to look all the way straight up, right? And that is really going to help our posture. And we are literally doing it, no equipment. We're just at work. There's no excuse. You guys do these stretches. They're so easy. And then the other one I wanted to show you as well is that I have a wall right beside me. So you may have to stand up for this if you don't have a wall. But literally, I can just get my hand like this, and I'm just going to rotate. So I'm getting my hand as far as possible. I'm looking away from that hand, really just opening up these areas. I'd obviously do it on both sides. And I'm literally at my desk. I'm doing all these stretches. Now, if you want to go more advanced, literally with the door frame, it's called a door stretch. Obviously, the door is open. You put your hands on both sides of the door and you kind of push through. It opens up the chest area. One thing I've been telling my patients lately, which I think is more powerful, I like to do like one at a time. So there's the door frame. Put your hand against the door frame and you push through, and you'll feel that's kind of really opening this area. But, and maybe if you can, once an hour. And if you can't, maybe on your lunch break, just doing these stretches. But anyone who's in front of a computer using their phone, they have to do this. Over time, if you keep doing this, you will feel the difference and you will feel much, much better. So one thing I was going to say as I come to the end of this video, if you learned anything that you thought was of value, please like, share, and subscribe. And, if everything's going great with your posture, fantastic. But if you're like, I think I need help, I have some questions, what's my next step? So here's something I want to offer you. Number one, you can contact our office. My name's Dr. Sandy, 905-896-3393. Let's say you just have a general question and you just want to ask something. I will make that time for you. We can book a phone consultation. We can ask a general question you may have, and we can take it from there. So it might be, is this something that you can help with, Dr. Sandy? Is this a health issue that you have seen before? You may have some really, really good questions, some general questions. We can book a phone consultation at 905-896-3393, 905-896-3393. You're just calling, you're saying, I just have some general questions. I'll be here for you. The second thing is if you're ready to kind of go a bit further and say, you know what, I know there's something going on. I know that my posture, my body, I'm having pain in the body, neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, whatever. I want to take the next step. One thing we're doing I just want to, honestly, at the end of the day, I want to see as many people as possible get healthy. We are doing something called a free spinal checkup. Now that checkup means that we'll obviously have you come in the office. We'll take your history. I will physically check the spine, and the best part of our testing, we do multiple tests. We have a special software called the Insight, and it actually measures the health of the spine and nerve system. And it's more focused on function, but it's a special software. It tells us what's going on. It gives us great wealth of information. We're offering a free spinal checkup where we can do an analysis, see what's going on, and let you know, yes, can we help you? What are your options? And then even if, we recommend something, and if you want to do it, great. And if you're like, I just wanted to get an evaluation, we totally understand that. But I want to do that. I want to at least have people get a checkup. They can decide from there what they want to do. But I think everyone once in their life should get a checkup, an evaluation of their spine, especially if they've never had it before. So I'd like to do that. So that's a free spinal checkup, your history, a full analysis. We use that special software. We'll tell you what we found, and if we can help you, great. And if we can't, we'll let you know. But I want to do that for you. So if you have any questions, if you want to take advantage of that free spinal checkup, please contact our office at 905-896-3393. If you want to check us out on the web, we're at www.gopowerflow.com. I'll leave the information below, and we're here to serve. We're here to help people. And as always, God bless you.